some of the names I just absolutely can't tell. The Chinese,
Where's
especially. The
yeah,
the
but
heavy calf
where's the
racer by the
claymores? I can
Supercross.
say that. I
Oh,
can
yeah,
say
that's
claymores.
true. They got some claymores.
Rumor that that might have been a part of a setup, but I was like, "No, there's no chance anybody's bringing bagpipes to CBL. Let's be real." Healing archers, on the other hand, we'll bring them because they're beneficial. I feel like the bagpipes are not as beneficial as a unit of healing archers, but we'll wait and see. Maybe we'll see bagpipes at some point. Maybe.
Oh, look at the spawns. Adushki and Scuff just perfectly predicted the
Each
spawns from
other.
leftovers. Just everyone spawning at the side where usually no one is spawning. Maybe Altishki is aware of the instant trap. I'm not sure if it's still possible there, but the last CBL, there were some people using the instant trap where you could just trap while you're still in the cinematic of the match, and then the enemy is just not able to do anything because the trap is hitting when he can start moving. And that's a bit sneaky strat, but I think it's only possible for the A point. And as
Yeah.
you can see, defense is already falling back to the C point and the supply behind it, which we have seen a couple of times already.
Yeah, this is the strategy that I've seen people work it well. However, you leave yourself open with a lot of time on Healing Fjord and a lot of opportunities to use all of your artillery, all your trebuchets. It's all about your perfect placement here now in the defense. You can find some good spots that are pretty much untrebbable, but there's plenty of shots that will be hitting by the mortars that will be set up if you can get a foothold and get a place to place them all. And that's what the leftover squad will be having to do because they're going to grab A, they're going to grab B, and C is going to be pretty free for them as well, probably most likely, because nobody's going to really go down and open themselves up onto a very treppable platform. So the way that it stands, we're going to have about 14 to 15 minutes on Healing Fjord for the chance to get the home point. And there's Trebs being called in already. That's going to be one that will take a hit.
Oh,
That might be quite tasty if it
oh
was for
my
the building.
goodness, the units are just so lucky there. How
So
did
lucky.
this trap not hit anything?
Yeah, I it surprises me every single time I see what looks like a perfectly set treb. It just doesn't hit anything. That one first fireball that was coming flying on in looked like it was going to wipe a few numbers on the corner of that unit, but it didn't come into play. And now we're going to see even more trebs coming in because he sees units and he sees mortars set up. So he's like, I'm going to take them out because I can spot that quickly. But trebs sometimes for wasting on mortars. I feel like you've got all the attacking artillery. Why waste a treb on a mortar when you could use a mortar on a mortar? You've got double the amount on the attack. It seems like a waste of resource for me.
Yeah, limited, but in the end, you have to place all of your 15 traps, and that will take some time. So sometimes I think people are just like, okay, I will never place my trap if I don't place it here because it will always be blocked. So, yeah,
Yeah, I
why
guess, I
not?
guess. Near the end, there you go. Silent One's pulling in another trap. He's finding another mortar. And I guess the one thing that has won it in defense for Fjord, right, has been the use of the defensive artillery in spots where you can't reach. And normally, it's up where that longsword is. There's few spots up there where the mortar can be placed that will deal devastating damage to the attacking side and be pretty much out of harm's reach. But they're not going to get the opportunity to do that because they've wasted quite a lot of artillery already. They're only down to 9, and you can already see leftovers going, right, now we're going to add some more time. We're going to go towards C, and we're going to have to open up the side of Otushki and Scuff and see what they can do and where they're looking to place their heroes and their units across this battlefield, as the Treb is going to be there as a deniable factor so that nobody can start stopping this cap. If they do, they will be hit by a face of full of fire, and nobody's going to make that way. Not yet, anyway.
Yes, so one flank is going out from the defense to the supply point of the attackers in the bottom. You can see it there with some cavalry over the back. So the attackers will have to capture another supply point if they want any resupplies. And I would expect it to be the one in the bottom in the harbor. Another trap going out here, not hitting anything. And we have a small skirmish here in the back with a Let Me Cook versus Swine or
No,
Schwein.
he was
And
insta cooked. That was
Just
that was instant wipe. He just literally came past him and he's dead. Like, what even happened? It was a blink of an eye and he's out of the fight already. That's unfortunate for him. He was not ready
yeah.
to cook. Not ready to cook.
One unit I absolutely hate on my side and the enemy side in normal matches are the Longbows we can see here, but in this match they are doing absolutely amazing jobs, I think. Not sure how many units they kill, but they have been able to shoot down to the supply before. They will do it once again, and they are just always shooting here. I think they have shot out all the ammo before and are doing it once again. So those Longbows will have to have already taken down a lot of units, and speaking of units, we can see how many units both teams are bringing, which is kind of even on both sides. And if we can scroll down maybe the right side on the defense, we will see how much the Longbows were able to do. And that's one unit kill for the Longbows. That's why you
Tick,
don't play Longbows. Okay, just don't play with
tick.
these.
One kill is all that is mattered.
One kill, one unit kill for all the ammo spent there. So
Yeah.
yeah, good reason why I
Well,
hate them in my team as well.
truly, well and truly used. I mean, I thought range wins you battles. That's what it seems to seem like when you play Sages for sure. Everybody brings out range because they want kills, but for the most part, it's just annoying. I feel like it doesn't work a lot of the
Yes.
time. But here in CPL, you're very lucky to see any range unit. Senji's being one different factor, especially with the fact that they deal some great devastating damage, as you said in that last match. Um, Against the Phalanx unit, obviously, which is a very commonly used unit of choice in this season, in this current meta that we are facing here. And with CBL 2025 just underway, people are going to learn a little bit of strategies from it as they see the first set of matches being played and the unit choices that they've picked and what the Sinjis can possibly do. But at this point in time, leftovers managed to push onto that home point and start taking some of that time away. So that's going to give them some good opportunity to get at least closer and closer to edging that win here on the attacking side. And we say it's a very attacking favored map because if you get motivation into this and you get some momentum behind you, you then close off the spawn positions, and all of a sudden it is all over. And leftovers are looking to try and secure a good stronghold and get them points closed off and then try find the kills.
Yes, a beautiful cavalry charge here over the back, taking down almost all of the artillery of the attackers, which was quite annoying for the defense. And now there are the respawners coming, resupplies coming in. And with that, there might be the possibility for Altushki and Scarf to come back to the point that the first fight was just absolutely won by leftovers. And you can see it, the calf just being melted down by the Phalanx, which is team trapped now, I think.
Oh, the
And
Cylinders.
so
Oh, the Reapers are going to get wiped by this dagger axe coming down the stairwell. They're going to get a flank into the back here. The Phalanx are nowhere near it. They're retreating backwards. The units have been absolutely wiped out on that point, and that's a good comeback here from Tuchki and Scuff. The
yeah,
game's not scuffed
pretty
yet.
even fight. I'm not sure who got more out of this, but in the end, both teams got wiped. And I think Altishki didn't lose a lot of their respawns, maybe the one calf, but in the end, it should be quite even. We can see it here in the bottom. Altishki even got a small lead there with 100 tier 5 units and 20 tier 4 units. Little behind in the tier 3 units, but I mean, if you have 100 more tier 5 units, you don't care about those tier 3s.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It doesn't matter if you've got multiples of tier threes, you're not going to be withstanding the likes of these tier five units like Enemy Basiladars, even especially the Phalanx units, or even a solid cavalry push. But look at the gold that they have out here for leftovers. There's plenty going to spare here. There's the Claymores as well from Spencer. Good to see it land. I love to see a little Scottish unit being played. That's what we want to see. Freedom! I want to call it as you send your claymores into battle. But it's leftovers that are in a difficult situation just now because they've been pushed back down that hill and now having to reset. But 5 minutes left, just over. It's going to be a close one. And it's going to be down to the bitter end, I feel like, with this one because Altushki have managed to do some good work to counteract the push of leftovers. And Silent One's going to have to find a strategy here to break them down.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to see the hero deathmatch in the end. But we'll see how the teams do. The artillery is still raining down all the explosives over both teams. Falconetti now starting work on the units of leftovers, but the leftovers, they are not willing to sustain that for a long time. They are just immediately going in and facing the first unit of phalanx on the side of the defense, supported by some more tankier units.
Yeah. Good challenge, and Silent One's units are making sure they move slowly and surely as they send out dagger axe across the point, hoping to break them down here as Altishki are trying to send forward with the phalanx, but there's so many dagger axe cav coming through, but it doesn't matter. Altishki seem to be winning this fight, but the Treb coming into the back might actually be the final dagger in the back here for Altishki's Scuff, and that's going to be looking good, but I feel like they've managed to counter and won that gunfight. And well, I say gunfight, but this battle over here on that home point, it looks like for a mere second, but now you're seeing more red, and all of a sudden, the chance the heroes are still alive. They're going to make that opportunity to try and close off these openings, and more Cav and Yaida is coming down for
But
Altishkin's
couldn't
Cuff. This is
miss.
definitely going the distance. This is going the distance.
Oh, all the cavalry, another unit. Dagger X now going in the point. It's just so many units of cavalry, and I just can't say who will win it because at the moment it's just even on the point. The unit of phalanx are being brought from the defense, which could turn this over once again. But at the moment, on the point itself, there's just so much red, and the point is almost captured. Around 5 seconds more on the point, and it's done. So the units and heroes of the defense have to get on the point very quickly. Orochi doing so with the step.
I mean, Altushkin's have done such a great job here, considering the position we've been in and how much time they've had to defend on home. They took it down to 3 minutes and a half. They're still fighting it out. They're still battling it out. It's 11 versus 9 on the hero count, and they're bringing people back in. Numbers are against them in units, but will it matter, or will they manage to win some of these hero fights and wipe the floor with leftovers, or is it not going to be anybody else left over for Otushki and Scuff as the leftover squad are managing to wipe and wipe? Here goes the men at arms charging through, trying to deal some damage. You're met with Conditori, which actually looking like a quite good battle. And leftovers have got too many numbers. They'll wipe the floor with them, and all of a sudden that time will start to be ticked. All the heavy armor classes are trying to make their way onto the point to stop it, but it is mere 10 seconds at most away from that capture, and there's only 5 more hero lives left. 4, make it 3. Is it going to be a countdown timer? Oh, it's not. It's 1. It's going from 2 to 1. It is all but over. It is done. The round is up. Healing Fjord is won by the attackers, as I expect. Leftovers.
And if you're experienced with them, you can do definitely more than with the phalanx because you will just stab again and again and again, and you will see you and heal every single time.
Well, this is it. It's about to be counting down the time. A, B, C. Where do we go? Where do you start your campaign here on our final match of the night and your final match between this game where someone is going to take the victory and start off their season well?
Yeah, I already see 4 players going to A from Team Red, 4 players going to C, and 6 players, 7 players. That's someone missing. But the rest is going to B, and the same from Altishki and Scuff. They are all splitting up. Altishki and Scuff is not too much going to C, but they are committing to B and to A. And A is given them for almost 3 now, as B and C will be in the hands of leftovers. Even though I think
He's going to be
leftovers could have tried to
counter-charged
get A.
here. Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like it's going to be counteracted here as you do see Latutsky and Scuff with the most amount of units just sitting waiting for leftovers to make that push onto that B point. But B point will be secured for leftovers, and now Tuski and Scuff will finally secure a 1 position. That's going to leave their base at risk here. And looking at the minimap, we're not really seeing anybody going towards the base yet from that leftover side, but we might see a wee cheeky flank coming in at some point as the battle does commence over on B, and leftovers are definitely coming out on top so far as they're winning on that hero kills 3 in a row there. He's going to be traded back, but it's 13-9 in terms of lives for the heroes, and it's looking good for leftovers to the final. kind of get the kills off of it and
That's
secure that
that's
B zone.
a good start of the match for the leftovers, already winning the fight and trading 100 more units on their side. Both teams have started with almost the same numbers, as so we can see now in the bottom. Otishki Scuff, they also have 84 tier 3 units and are losing a lot of the others as well. So leftovers with a big lead already, and now leftovers are trying to also get the supply point from Altishki and Scuff, and with that there might be the possibility of them to go to A as well. Endpoint is being secured by Halberdiers, so it should not be too easy to capture it sneaky. But Let Me Cook is already on the way there, and Dirksy as well. So maybe he will really cook something there.
Yeah, he wasn't able to do it in Healing Fjord when we seen him on the screen, but he got absolutely cooked up for dinner, and now this time around he's doing a little bit better here. But leftovers still insecure of two zones, still with a chance to go towards the home base here of Otutski and Scuff. But that's got seconds left, and that potentially will be closed off for them. But because there is no change of cap, there is no change of position here. It's still two in control for leftovers. That'll stay open, and it'll go and reset that timer. And as you can see, they're not going to be making any plays towards it, just kind of baiting players and trying to find some kills of units and heroes before they eventually go towards that home base, because you don't want to leave yourself open too much as well and over push. Because if you get yourself left open, there's a chance to lose in one of the zones and also put your own base at risk.
But yeah, now finally the artillery phase is starting. Both teams are happy where they are located at the moment, so the artillery is just raining down from both sides. With the mortars here going on to the B point and off the B point, it looks like at the moment leftovers they have a lot more artillery, but Iltishki is about to place some more mortars, and they will be raining down some more fire to the point. Sadly, in this overlay, we don't see how many pieces of artillery are left for both sides.
Not as important as it is not as important here. It's very rarely we're going to see a difference because we've all got the same. Anyway, they start off with the same. They'll start off at the end. I think is what one piece each you get on this one, or do you get two? I can't
You
even
get
remember.
one.
Is it just one? Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe see it. I don't know if you see it on the unit selection. You maybe see if they've got one still available, and that'll be the only place you'll get to see it. If you put up that unit scoreboard on the side, you'll get to see who has got a piece of artillery in there. Yes, you do. There is some people that have used, and there's some people that still have one sitting available. So leftovers still have about 7 pieces of artillery left, and on the other side, you're looking at potentially about the same here as well, but well, a little bit more actually here.
I
Not
think
just
it's
stuff.
8 on the size of Futushki,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I mean, my brain can
fairly the
see
same.
numbers and then I lose track of the numbers. I couldn't keep every track of every single one of them, but couldn't remember which one I counted and which one I didn't. But here we go. We're not far off of even at Stevens in terms of their artillery usage anyway, and we're even Stevens on that percentage. But it's still leftovers in control. 7 minutes left to play this one, and if they hold on like this, they go on to win it either way. But obviously, this is not the way and the best way to win it. It's not the funnest way to win it either, but it's a win either way. But look at Let Me Cook in the list of the rosters hiding behind that mountain there, trying to bait all of the Altutski and Scuff players over towards them, and then
But
initiate a
they
little.
might be baited themselves because look at those heroes. 4 units of cavalry heading that direction would be crucial, but the cavalry is not willing yet to hunt them down.
Yes, Sween, Stantrig, Sangurita are all
Oh,
went the other way, but Pintero and the rest of them ones that were hiding, they were cooking in the back, and now they're going to try and send the way towards home base. Baits it, but has already spotted. Have to change their plan. They can't go that way anymore because they have been already swatted out and noticed. But Schween does find a kill on towards Lost OP. And the leftovers boy is leaving. He's not OP at the moment. He is down and out and going to have to come back from that respawn. 5 minutes. That's an extra minute gone away already. And leftovers still in control with the 2 points.
Kyle Tushki slowly trying to figure out where they can go in. Some more aggression from the heroes come closer and closer to the B point, and we can see on the top left the two heroes from the leftovers trying to get the endpoint are now being chased down by the other two. And on the right side, we can see the rest of both teams Still using the artillery to fight over the B point.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh, there we go. I've just found something that I needed to find a second ago, but we found it earlier now. Yeah, I mean, this is slow and steady, melodical. It works in the favor of the leftovers, who obviously are in control of both. And for now, they don't really have to do anything. They're just going to wait and kind of maneuver their units around to not lose too much and not lose any hero kills here. Just making sure they keep near enough to that B zone, so when push does come from Altuchki and Scuff, they're actually here to react to it and keep control of it. Because you do see Yannido trying to make their way over towards this right hand side. It looks like they're going to go towards B. You're going to see the dual blade first going in, trying to see if he can pick a player, maybe potentially deal some good damage and send their units in. And they're going to have to try and find what's happening, because it is Loverboy over there. Sween is all there with their cavalry. You've got Heinrich all looking for an opportunity. In the meantime, let me
When
kicks
the
in the
end
background
point
going towards home point as well,
is-
at risk. It's too much to watch. The two fights are
and
happening. B
yeah,
is being under control as well, and then you're going to have the players making their way towards home. But this big fight now on B could be make or break here. If leftovers come out on top here, it'll almost mean certain win for the leftover squad.
oh, and so much cavalry the phalanx can't handle. Leftovers cavalry is taking all the Altishki's units, but the endpoint, luckily for Altishki and Scuff, is secured. But at what cost? They had so many less heroes on the fight for B. And you can see this in the unit trade. There's a big advantage for the side of the leftovers. More than 100 units in the lead, and there might be more to come. Tishki now finally looking towards the B point, but not willing to go in 4 versus 4
Now they have to
or
kind of
3.
regather their supply point, because they did lose it over to leftovers for a second. So you're seeing the Joe Blade over there as well. Dove is who been finding lots of kills, and he's trying to see if he can find more kills over towards this supply point if he can. But he's got so many members to deal with from Altushki, and somehow as a Joe Blade, he's managed to sneak about for so long there and kind of at least waste some time over on that supply point, which works out in their favor. And then you're going to see a unit killing onto Walter here as well. No, Tushkin Scuff will lose another member, but it's 14-14 in lives, and you've got almost a 150 point margin here in terms of units. And most of it being tier 4 units, because the tier 5, the last time we looked, was pretty even. Well, there's a 60 difference now. And yeah, almost 100 difference when it comes to that tier 4. A big difference.
Absolutely. Still some artillery on the board for Altushki. But look at this defense on the B point. There's just so much to get rid of. 3 units of phalanx, 4 units of phalanx, Siladas, the Orochi, and the shields. And on the other side, Altishki, they are bringing so much cavalry. And as you should know already, cavalry just does absolutely nothing against the phalanx. So I would be surprised if they manage to get a good unit trade here. But we will see in a second, as Altishki is now making the move towards the
It's
backside.
It's a last-ditch effort. It's down into red. The numbers are taken down. They've got a minute and 52 seconds to do something, but they only need to hold on to the 2 points the way that this is going. Yes, the base is still at risk, but if you are the team in blue and you manage to get B here before that timer is out, you will be in control of the lead and that win and the opportunity to take this match. But with these charges coming in, it is looking too nice here for leftovers. They're managing to hold their own. All the Cavs sending in, but they're all getting wiped. Looks like it could be leftovers game to win.
Yes, and that's exactly what happens when you charge all of those cavalries into the phalanx. They are just being wiped so quickly. You can see still how many units are left on the B point. Now the rotation comes in. Eltushki is going to the C point, and there's not too much. There are some camels, and now the reinforcements are coming, but will it be enough? We will see here in a second. As oh my god, that Dagger X just cleared one of their counterparts on Eltushki's side.
Camels are just sitting here, not really needing to do much, just sitting in wait and holding his own. 40 seconds left to do it. You're going to see people going towards B again because that is the opportunity there because they're losing the fight over here on C. We've got 30 seconds left to do it. It is all or nothing here. And I would say that is AAL instead of AAS because our Tuchki and Scuff are not managing to break on through the leftovers. And what's left over of their team, they're holding on that B zone for now. And it's looking good. 17 seconds. The countdown is going to go. It's going to go the distance in time here, and we're going to seal the deal for leftovers. Thankfully, that little disconnect and the issue that they had didn't affect their mental when it came to the final game here in Grasslands, where it was to play for the win. They do so, and they come away as your victory leaders and leading the pack. OP is OP at the end of the day. I said he wasn't very OP earlier on. He comes out